Chirag Manmani is asking that where and how much should an 25-year-old individual earning 2 lakh per month should invest, considering they plan to invest in NPS, individual and employer, and have 4 lakh in stocks and 6 lakh in mutual funds direct. Risk profile is moderately high, and current mutual fund, multi-cap, large cap, mid-cap, small cap need help deciding step. I would say that devise a plan. It's quite enriching trying to have a roadmap for this and implementing it over your lifetime, and this will be very enriching. One is that if you are going to invest 4 lakh rupees in NPS, that's fine. If 2 lakh comes from your employer and 2 lakh is your contribution will be deducted from your income for computing taxes under section 80C and 80CCD. Employer contribution is contribution to you, but it is an expense for the employer and it is not even considered as your income. So this is effectively tax sheltered investment which keeps growing, and it's your retirement fund. I would say that the real steps to investing, long-term investing for a young person like you is pretty straightforward, because your tax saving thing is already covered with the NPS. I would say that what you should do is, ideally, if you had no investment, I would have suggested you that start with a multi-cap fund to begin with, not a balanced fund, because balanced fund is meant for somebody who is, because you have already invested. I would say that start with a multi-cap fund, and then get into more nuanced, have a larger allocation to small cap and mid cap over a period of time. And you are 25, you are earning well, but it depends how much you are able to save. Whatever you save, I think that's the first step. Then try your hand with stocks, but don't speculate. There are guidelines in terms of what you should not be doing. Stock investing is all about what not to do. And when you get into the market, the lure of everybody will be telling you some hot tip or something else, or something is happening in the market, there will be some momentum, and there is this F&O, which looks like easy money to be made quickly, and it turns out to be very dangerous or very harmful for somebody who is unable to spend time and have the trading instinct or the speculative instinct, or it requires experience. There are some people who have it, but majority of the people go there to lose money. Some people do succeed, but I don't know who are they, and if they succeed big time, they don't come and share their secrets. But we come across a lot of sorry stories or disappointing stories for people speculating in the stock market. So I would say that learn the ropes, get into stock investments, and keep it only to multi-caps to begin with, so that it's not taking a lot of your time. Keep doing that till you have the confidence. Learn, invest, formulate your principle. There are 10, 12, 13 ways in which you can actually, strategies which you can follow in investing in stocks. One is to look for growth companies, but they're always expensive. Look for companies which are growth companies, but they are available relatively cheap, or reasonably priced. They're not very cheap, but reasonably priced. Then you will have different things. Deep value stock, it requires a great deal of conviction and patience and strong stomach, because sometimes some of those stocks, they do well over time, but for 5-7 years nothing happens, and it is a test of your own grit that can you do you have some advantage, or looking for smaller companies which are growing very rapidly and shifting track as and when these keeping track of such racy stocks. Some opportunistic thing that happens, contextual things, something which becomes trendy, but those are very difficult strategies to follow, and there is a great deal of learning involved, and I don't think you can learn by just watching things, reading things. Of course you can learn quite a bit by reading things and watching it, but doing things is actually makes you interested. Then finding good companies is one part of the story. How do you go about implementing it? How do you stick around with it? When do you get out of it? How do you overcome the anxiety? What do you do with a great company which you have spotted, and you still believe in it, but the stock price has gone down by 40%, and in a span of 7 days? How do you deal with that? So investing is so much about managing your own temperament. If you are able to deal with that, go ahead, do it. And but I think it takes time to learn it. So do it with 20% of your money, 80% is in mutual fund. As you gain confidence, increase your allocation to stock investments.